All right, guys, name is Tyler, aka Nanogenix, and today year 5 is almost upon us. For all you guys asking me when is year 5 going to be happening on the JP side, we should start seeing the actual units themselves somewhere around the 27th and 28th. They could potentially leak before that. You know, you never know sometimes with these things in the community, so they could potentially leak from that, but officially we should start seeing them around the 27th, 28th. In game, we'll actually see probably the sort of outline of what's happening on Dokkan, and with the year 5 sort of celebration and actual like in-game news somewhere between like the 27th and 29th, and then the actual banners should go live on about the 30th, at least here in the States. It could be the 29th, maybe really late, or the 31st really early for some people or something like that. But for the most part, around the 30th of January is when to expect year 5 on the JP side of the game. Now, per usual, I like to try to guess some stuff. I've already guessed once, but it got a little more refined today, I believe. Now, what we're about to look at isn't obviously a full-on guarantee of what to expect from year 5, but you know, some stuff kind of maybe pointing that way. So with all that said, let's go ahead, let's hop in. Let's talk about some year 5 today. So first up, this isn't anything new at all, but this is the sort of collaboration figure that is happening between Banpresto and Dokkan. I don't know if that's been officially even revealed itself. I think this was more of a sort of leak type situation. But if you guys aren't familiar, Banpresto has been doing all kinds of sort of collaborations with Dokkan. They actually have a lot of figures. They did the SSJ 4s. They actually just got through doing a Majin Vegeta and a SSJ 2 Goku, which of course goes hand in hand with what literally just released on the JP side of the game a couple weeks ago, which if you guys watched my recap of the year, Truth and I were talking about that in a video. But that was something that we had known for quite some time prior to that, and of course it ended up coming true. So this sort of figure thing is something that we've known for months at this point. I still just wanted to point it out for maybe some people that don't live, breathe, and eat Dokkan, and maybe are just tuning into this video for the first time in a minute, because I know some of you guys forget that, but not everyone just absolutely just goes and takes in all the knowledge you possibly can know about Dokkan, including leaks and everything else. So this is a figure collab that is happening between Dokkan and Banpresto. So here's the thing that I wanted to talk about. So this is Finyo. Now, what we're looking at doesn't necessarily have to mean much of anything. It really doesn't. But this is the primary artist for Dokkan, if I'm not mistaken. He also does some of the Legends art too. Now, I mean, really, I don't know this means too much, because I'm sure he's under like major contract. He can't sort of do anything that could potentially bust a huge reveal, you know, coming from Dokkan and stuff like that, because Dokkan is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, money makers for Bandai at this current time. So I mean, I'm sure they treat Bandai, I'm sure they treat reveals the same way any other company does. They want to be the ones to truly reveal it. This doesn't necessarily have to mean too much, but at the same time, it is such a weird time that we're about 3 weeks out from year 5 anniversary, and the primary artist for Dokkan tweets out a picture of Gogeta Blue and Vegito Blue. And then of course, also knowing this right here, which by the way, this is a shout out to Baggy saying, I'll have a Twitter link to his account down below in the description. This is Baggy saying that actually revealed this several months ago. I think this particular tweet is from October, and I think we even knew before then. There's the SSJ 4 figure in case you've never seen it. I mean, literally, like it's a crossover with Banpresto and Dokkan. That's all this is. There's actually some really cool ones if you've never seen them before. There's actually some really nice ones if you like collecting stuff and you want to have some of these figures in their sort of Dokkan poses. It's actually pretty cool. But at the same time, it's almost too close to be just coincidence, the fact that we're looking at a Vegito Blue and a Gogeta Blue, which by the way, they're beautiful. Like, dude, these are incredible looking. I actually would love some art that's not just so like standard. Like I would love, you know, like the physical UI Goku that's in the game, the free to play one, where I mean, which it goes with sort of the promo art of him kind of like looking behind him like that. I would love some more card arts that are more like this. Some more dynamic poses and stuff. I mean, we have some pretty dynamic poses, but I would love some more stuff where they're like not even necessarily looking at the front, because there's some cool stuff they could do with these. I think this is probably pretty close to what we should expect for year 5. Again, this probably means really nothing, as opposed, like he wouldn't just put these out as like, oh, these are leaks. These aren't leaks. These have probably nothing to do with the cars actually look like themselves. It's just weird, you know? And knowing all of that, which of course everyone was assuming that Gogeta Blue would be paired up with Vegito Blue. I feel like there was like basically 3 scenarios that could happen there. Gogeta Blue was going to always be in each of the 3, but maybe him paired up with Vegito Blue, him paired up with DBS Broly, or him paired up with potentially Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And the reason why this is so important to trying to predict what they might do with year 5 and moving forward is because we know there's going to be a dual Dokkan festival at the beginning of the celebration. So at the end of this month, we know there will be a dual LR Dokkan Festival exclusive sort of release. And then Paired up with that, about 2 weeks later, will be a TOP banner, which will probably have 2 LRs on it because, well, why wouldn't they? That's what they did last year. And of course, last year they kept it themed to GT, right? Everything from the free-to-play units that we got to the Battlefield to, you know, the actual Dokkan Festival exclusive units to the TOP banner units, everything was GT themed. Now, in this particular case, it's more fusion themed, but I feel like what they would probably do is keep them themed around the actual Dokkan Festival characters themselves. And so to match the 2 Dokkan Fest, Gogeta Blue and Vegito Blue, then we might get a double extreme release for a TOP. And so the matching characters to those would probably be a full power DBS Broly. And hopefully he would be full power. I mean, I know that a lot of us do like transforming units, especially when they get the transformations right. Like, for example, all the time, LR Tech Broly, perfect unit for transformation, perfect unit for active ability. Same thing with physical DBS Broly as well. Fantastic transformation, just 4 turns and you get it and you're good to go. There's no sort of stupid restrictions on it. Just hit 4 turns and you get to transform. Why they don't do that more with units, I really don't understand. But for the sake of not completely like making it to where that Fizz Broly is useless or the Tech Broly is useless in terms of running them with them, I would just prefer it to not be transformation and him just to already be in his LR state as a full power Broly, if they're going to do that, is what I'm trying to get to. If they're going to do that, because then you can run physical one with this new LR Broly or the tech one with this new LR Broly and so forth. So that would match that. Now, the 2 characters I feel like could match with a Vegito Blue, I think Merge Zamasu obviously makes the most sense, and they could still do some sort of transformation with that. And if he is a Merge Zamasu, the only real character that he would make it to where you couldn't really run him with would be the tech one that just got an Extreme Z Awaken. So that wouldn't be that big of a deal because you could still run him with Rosés, you could still run him with the old school LR Goku Black and Zamasu, and you could also still run him, I don't know if I just said the AGL Zamasu, but the AGL Zamasu as well. There's a lot of stuff you could still run that character with. However, if there was going to be something that wasn't just Merge Zamasu, I like Merge Zamasu just fine. I think he's definitely at some point is going to get an LR for sure. I mean, there's so many characters that will eventually at some point get an LR. But if it wasn't going to be Merge Zamasu, I would love to see a standalone LR Rosé. That's what I would truly love to see them do because, bro, I mean, Rosé is just, he might be, if you don't count Gogeta Blue, he might be my favorite thing from Dragon Ball Super thus far. I just, like, the character himself was so cool. The way he was introduced was so cool. And the Rosé form is just so awesome. So, like, he might be, I really need to think about it deeper, but I think he might be my favorite thing from Dragon Ball Super. So I would love to see him get his own standalone LR card. And like, there's been some custom ones that we've seen that have looked absolutely incredible. So I can only imagine what they could do with a card like that and give him some like really dope, like active ability or something. So if it ends up being the Vegito Blue and the Gogeta Blue, like we just saw Finyo had drawn over there on Twitter, then I could see that being what the TOP is. Now, if it ends up not being Vegito Blue and that was just something that he just drew and it's like DBS Broly and Gogeta headlining it, then obviously on the TOP they could probably do like a combination style unit, like a Vegeta and Goku together, and then they could maybe do like a Frieza Force. There's actually a card in the Dragon Ball Super card game that was kind of like a Frieza Force card, and it was like Frieza, Broly, like Wrathful type Broly, and actually it wasn't even Wrathful, it was just in his base state, and then Paragus. And then the super tech they could do with that is like the iconic scene of Paragus saying, you know, go Broly, do it Broly, whatever. And that would actually be kind of a cool card too. And then they focus more on like combination cards, if that were to be what they did. Now, what I want to ask you guys right now is, what would you rather see? Would you rather it be like a Vegito Blue and Gogeta Blue celebration within the TOP cards I just mentioned, or a DBS Broly and a Gogeta Blue celebration with the other cards I just mentioned for TOP? And then the final thing, which I'd said this months ago, I don't know if I said it exactly like this, but would have been cool to see like a Gogeta Blue and an SSJ4 Gogeta celebration together. And then when the TOP banner released, we then got like a DBS full power Broly card, and then also a Omega Shenron card on TOP like 2 weeks later, which would have been kind of cool. But the thing about it is I feel like if they're going to do like a celebration that is around like GT again with SSJ4 Gogeta and Omega Shenron, they probably save that for either year 6 or for the $1 million celebration. Because if you look at the game right now, I don't know if they're doing this on purpose, but there's a pattern to how they're doing their releases. Year 1 was fusion oriented. Of course, it was Gogeta and Janemba. Year 2 was GT SSJ4 related. Year 3 was fusions again with the LR Gogeta and Vegito. And then year 4 was SSJ4s again. And then now year 5 is fusions again. So it's like, or at least one fusion. So they're like in a pattern right now. So potentially year 6 could totally be SSJ4 Gogeta and Omega Shenron as the main headlining units. And then they do something cool with the TOPs or something like that. So Bro, I don't know. All I know is that year 5 is upon us. Year 5 is seriously like 3 weeks away, and I am like super freaking stoked about it. So if you want to be here for all the stuff that we're going to be doing, all kinds of gameplay videos, all kinds of summon videos, all kinds of probably news videos, just all kinds of stuff, then you might go down there, hit that subscribe button, join today. You might also hit that like button if you were excited for year 5 as well. But that was today's video. I just been wanting to hop in and talk about it, and the sort of thing that tipped me to a point of finally just making the video was seeing those Finio arts, and they look incredible. They look absolutely incredible. So anyways, I'm beyond excited to hop in and do all of that. That has been today's video. Have a great day. Keep on keeping on Nanogenix off. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.